a part of your baby may still be living inside your body years after birth. During fetal development, something extraordinary happens. As early as 4 to 7 weeks of pregnancy, tiny fetal cells begin crossing the placenta and entering the mother's bloodstream. This phenomenon is called Microchimerism, and it's one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern biology. To understand how this happens, we have to look at the most complex border crossing in nature, the placenta. We're taught the placenta is a filter. It lets the good stuff like oxygen and nutrients in and keeps the bad stuff out. But it's not a wall, it's a two-way highway. As early as 4 to 7 weeks of pregnancy, fetal cells, living, breathing building blocks of the baby, begin to slip through that barrier. They enter the mother's bloodstream and begin a journey through her entire body. They don't just float around and disappear, they find a home. These cells are biological shapeshifters. In the scientific world, we call them progenitor cells. They're similar to stem cells, meaning they have a special superpower. They can adapt. When a fetal cell reaches the mother's heart, it doesn't just sit there. It can actually become a heart muscle cell. It starts beating in sync with her own. If it reaches her brain, it can become a neuron. Researchers have found these guest cells in maternal skin, thyroids, livers, and even across the blood-brain barrier, a place that is notoriously hard for anything to enter. At first, scientists thought this was temporary, something that would disappear after birth, but they were wrong. In fact, these cells can stay inside the mother's body for lifetime. In one famous study, researchers found male DNA in the brains of women in their 70s and 80s. These women hadn't been pregnant for 40 or 50 years, yet their son's cells were still there, living quietly among their own. So long after the umbilical cord is cut, and long after that child has grown up and left the house, a piece of them stays behind. They aren't just in your heart emotionally. They are in your heart and your brain and your lungs, literally. But what do these cells actually do? Some scientists believe these cells may actually help the mother. They might behave like repair cells, similar to stem cells. For example, if there's tissue damage, these fetal cells may move to that area and help with healing. Almost like your baby leaving behind tiny helpers. There's even speculation that these cells may play a role in the long-term biological bond between mother and child. But there is a dark side. Some researchers believe these cells might occasionally confuse the mother's immune system, potentially contributing to autoimmune diseases where the body starts attacking itself. So, are these cells helpful or harmful? The truth is, it might be both. We're still figuring that out. Pregnancy doesn't just change the body for a few months. It may leave a biological mark that lasts a lifetime. If a pregnancy ends in a miscarriage, ectopic pregnancy, or abortion, the mother still retains those fetal cells. In fact, some studies suggest that the concentration of fetal cells in the mother's blood can briefly spike during a pregnancy loss. For many women who have experienced a miscarriage, learning about Microchimerism brings a deep sense of comfort. It means that biologically, the baby they lost is never truly gone. Their cells literally live inside the mother's heart, brain, and tissues, often stepping in to act as a cellular repair crew to help heal her body. And it's also show, when you get pregnant, you aren't just you anymore. You are a mosaic of the lives you've carried. So the next time someone says the bond between a mother and her child is deep, it might be deeper than we ever imagined. And maybe, in a way, a mother never truly carries just herself again. We've only scratched the surface. There's much more to explore. Would you like to know more?